Greetings and God bless everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to the channel. As you are coming in, God bless you in Jesus' name. So I'm not going to be on here long. I wanted to share with you what I received from God during my prayer and study time. I was in Psalms 139, and as I got to the verses 13 through 18, God had begun to speak. I encourage you, though, in your own time, just read through the complete 24 verses of Psalm 139. Because God may speak to you as well, and He's going to speak to you differently than He speaks to me. Nevertheless, this word is for everybody. And so I was reading Psalms 139. God had begun to speak, and I was just reminded, because sometimes we can be in a place of where we feel, some unfulfillment. We may feel a lack of direction, a lack of clarity in our lives, and as a result, have some unfulfillment. And so as I was reading Psalms 139, I was reminded of, God does know the plans that He has for us, and they are for good and not disaster. And I was reminded of the fact that, we are God's creation. And when He created us specifically. He created us strategically, and He created us intentionally. And so even during the times where we're, having these feelings of unfulfillment, or whatever, even during these times, God knows everything. He knows exactly what He created us to do and how He created us to function. Now, we have to catch up with that, and we'll never fully fathom, because God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are far beyond our thoughts. And so we will never really completely grasp, God's ways, and out of these ways and out of these thoughts of His, He created us. We may never be able to fully grasp that. But just knowing that when you're in that place, that place of feeling low, that this God was intentional about creating you. He was intentional about creating you. He knows the thoughts that He has towards you. When He created you, He knew, he in His thoughts, He already knew, what He had for you. He know why He created you. And so even though we may not fully understand, we have to be reminded that God knows. He knows all. And He was intentional about creating you. That I am His masterpiece, period. We are His masterpiece. And so anything that was made by man's hand was designed for a specific purpose. Likewise with God, anything that was made by man's hand was designed for a specific purpose, right? To serve a specified purpose, to function a specific way, and when used, expected to deliver certain results. And so any invention made at the hands of man, it was specific. It had a specific purpose, and it was expected to deliver specific results. And so, for instance, I'm going to use a flat iron, something I haven't used in months because I'm on a hair journey. But the flat iron, it was designed to function a specific way, right? To do specific things, to be used in specific ways, and to deliver specific results, right? And so God created us. We were strategically and intricately designed according to the specific purpose that God had for us. We were designed, to function a specific way. And so we weren't just created, we were designed. Okay. In other words, we were strategically designed to suit the purpose for which we were created. And let me just say that one more time. We were strategically designed to suit the purpose for which we were created. That means we have a purpose in life. And when God, knowing the thoughts that he has towards us, and that he had towards us when he was creating us, he designed us strategically according to the purpose that he had for us, right? And so my design will be different from yours. And unfortunately, we often see a lot of division, chaos and things like that, because the way that we're designed is different. The way that God designed us is different. But really, this should be the beauty of it all. It should be the beauty of it all. We like various design and decor until the same notion comes down to people, right? We like various design and decor until the same notion comes down to people. And so God designed us, God designed us differently, but for us to be brought together for the overall beauty of it. Right? So when you think about when you're furnishing your house, you're buying this type of furniture to go with that piece, to go with this picture. You're buying that, this type of picture to go with that piece of furniture. You have various types of designs and decor in your house that you put together for the overall beauty of your home. And this is the same thing that God expects from his people. We have to have the same notion when it comes to people, that we all can come together being differently designed by God, but come together for the overall beauty of it all. And so anytime something is made by the hands of man, they are pleased with what they made, right? Before releasing it to perform its specific purpose. And with this, they are expecting production and multiplication, right? So they're expecting that once they release it, they have decided before they release it that they are pleased with what they invented, right? And so they're pleased with it to the extent of releasing it to perform its function. And so they decide, okay, I'm going to release this for a specific purpose and use to be fulfilled through this product. Right? I am expecting for this product to be able to be used and those who it's used by to benefit from it, for the product to have some form of influence, right? This is the goal of the inventor. So they had expectations upon releasing it. And when this happens, its performance, the product's, the invention's performance is traced back to the maker. Now, we were created and designed to worship our creator, right? Which is a part of our function, use, and purpose. We were created to do this. We have to think about, how God designed us, and the way that we were designed to worship God, right? Because this gives glory back to our Father. So the way, just like the inventor, the way that God designed us when he created us, our design, our worship throughout the way he designed us. Okay. The way that he designed us, we were designed to worship him, right? And our worship goes back to him. It's traced back to him, right? So I hope this is making sense. And so when we're thinking about, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Well, a big part of that is worshiping our creator, right? This is how we are to function. This is our use. This is our purpose, is to worship our creator. It's how we were designed. And so imagine man, right? Taking the time to make something, to invent something for a specified use that will bring glory to the maker. The maker is the one, of course, who knows the ins and the outs of the product, the specifics and depth of its intended use, the intricacy of the product and it being taken, and used by someone else, right? Where the genuine purpose of the product never prevails. And so imagine being designed by God to worship him and this being connected to your purpose, right? This being connected to your purpose. Because remember, we are strategically and intentionally designed by God. He's woven us together intricately. Everything works, all things work together when it comes to God. So he knew what he was doing when he created us. He knew what he was doing when he designed us. He knew what he was doing. And he did it to where all things will work together, right? So that also means that if one thing is, or this and this is lacking, then then you're going to know. There's going to be evidence of that, right? So if a part of our design is to worship him, and this is also connected to our purpose, who he says we are and what he created us to do, how we're supposed to function, how we're supposed to operate. And it's these things, just like man, it's these things that will cause us to produce and multiply when we are operating in accordance to how we were designed. Right? So the product of man, if it's taken and used by someone else, and the fullness of that product, the product may not reach its full capacity. It may not reach its full purpose because that person is not aware of the way that product was designed in depth, right? And so the way that we were designed and us operating in that will cause us to multiply and to produce. And so we're designed to worship God, just like everything is traced back to the maker. The glory from our lives in doing so would trace back to our creator. But if our worship, which has a lot to do, we got to keep this in mind, our worship has a lot to do with us functioning according to our design. If it lies somewhere else, if we're not functioning according to God's design, we're not performing our specific use and function. That means that we're not worshiping God. That means that we're not worshiping God. We're not doing something that we were designed to do. So right there, we're already out of alignment with the way that we were designed. So by not functioning according to the way that we were designed, that means we're already we're not worshiping God, right? We're not worshiping God in that sense. And so already we're out of alignment with the way that we were designed. And so why do we sometimes feel empty inside? If we're knitted together in a strategic way and we're not functioning accordingly, then we're going to feel some emptiness. We're still human. We're going to feel some things despite. But if we're experiencing a feeling of emptiness for too long, we need to consider the way that we were designed. And because we were designed to function a specific way for a specific use, a specific purpose, and to perform a specific way, when we're not in alignment, the design doesn't go away. The design does not go away. What God does stay. Right? And so we need to tap into our design. You know how they say untapped potential. We need to tap into our design. It's even a little more, it's deeper than that when it comes to God's design. And so when our worship, something that we were designed to do, when it lies somewhere else other than in alignment with the way that we were designed, this place or whatever we're giving our design over to, this place will never tap into the intricacy of our design and purpose. And so there's so much going on, there's so much going on and so much coming at us, so many things that we are up against. You know, we can't stop the things that are going on around us. However, everything starts within. The way that we were designed starts within. You know, and it's enough. It is enough to grow in our understanding of how God designed us personally or individually. It's enough to grow in our understanding of that. That's going to take a lifetime right there to focus on how, you know, to grow in our understanding of how God designed us. And so we need to make that our focus. Yes, things are going on around us. Things will always be going on around us, but we are more affected by these things when we have not, when we are not functioning according to how we were designed to function. We're more easily sidetracked. And so we need to make our focus on knowing God intimately so that we can come to understand ourselves in the way that he so intimately knows us. Because he does. He created us. We're his design. We're his masterpiece. He knows the plans that he has for us, despite of what's going on around us, or what we, you know, what's even going on in us. He know how he designed us, what he designed us for, how he designed us to perform, to function. He designed us. And so that's all I got. And I hope that I see you soon. I hope that you got something from this, that it made sense, like it made sense to me when I was receiving the download. So stay blessed, and I will see you on the next video.